I feel like I'm on some type of list now after seeing a scene quite like this in Food Wars this week. But all jokes aside, though, this episode confirms what many of us have been talking about. It was very apparent that there was just no way Hayama was going to be working with Central and Azumi for no reason. I mean, ever since the beginning of his character introduction, we've always known that he does everything for June. So, I knew for a fact there had to be something going on with June for him to be even associating and working with Central and, enjoying the Elite 10, a part of Central. There's just no way he would have done something like that if it didn't have something to do with June. Well, this episode confirms that suspicion, and we get the details on it. For the most part, it was pretty predictable. It really was. Because, I mean, if you have been aware of Hayama's character and paying attention to him, then you're going to be able to connect the dots and realize that him acting like he has been acting, it makes perfect sense. Now, I do like the fact that, Soma was like, the way you are right now, you're pathetic. Like, there is no way I'm losing to someone that is as pathetic as you at this moment. Back in the past, you were an amazing chef, but seeing you crawl into a hole and back off and all that, it's absolutely pathetic. And I like that moment of this episode, just seeing how Soma is putting Hayama down, saying that he is going to mainly lose just because he has thrown away his honor as a chef or as a person doing what he is doing right now. But I can't really blame Hayama at all. I can't really blame him for the decision he made, because, I mean, Azumi really backed the man into a corner. There was really not much that Hayama really could have done because of what Azumi did. So to go into those details, basically, there was a lot of deals that were being made to the research club, and you had it to where June was being able to get a lot of research done, they were getting funding and all of this, which that's good. That means they can put more money into their projects, and that's what fuels research clubs, because of funding and, fundraisers and stuff like that. And with them all, backing out of their deals and stuff because of Azumi, it made it to where their club wasn't going to be able to stand up and do what they wanted. They weren't able to research different things because of the deals, now being completely terminated, and no possibility for those deals to ever come back and associate with the research club Hayama in June. So obviously because of this, it led it to where Hayama had to communicate with Azumi, because number one, even if he would have backed off and he would have fought for Shokugeki to win and kept the research club around, the point stands is that those different, fundraisers, the funds that they were receiving, the contracts, they would no longer be there. They would never have that chance to get them back whatsoever, because they would not associate with them because of Azumi's, influence. So when you look at all these things, it makes sense why he made that decision. But here's another thing I want to point out. This is kind of an issue with Azumi's plan that I don't know how many of you noticed, but it's a pretty major flaw in his plan. So to kind of explain, if someone shoves everybody away, like, okay, for an example, we have top-tier chefs all around, the school, okay? There's a lot of chefs now that are being expelled because they don't want to, fall in line with Central's authority, influence, and all that. They're not following what they want. Pretty much they're getting expelled. And a lot of chefs that have a lot of potential to shape the future and all that, they're getting removed from the entirety of the school. And they're never going to have a shot again. And the way Azumi's going about this, it's actually not necessarily a good thing long-term. The reason why is because the more people you continuously shove out, it's just going to cause those individuals that are getting shoved away to go other ways and try to do their own research or their own ways to improve as a chef in other places. For example, let's say, Azumi, he has the complete influence over Japan. For example, if they really want to pursue their careers as chefs and, better themselves, they could go overseas into different countries and then try to progress their, culinary skills. So when you look at it, Azumi's plan, it has a flaw. Because the more people he continues to shove away, it's just going to build up another faction. Make people very strong. They're going to congregate in one area and get a lot stronger and form their own organization to be able to, bring up chefs. So in turn, there's a flaw, a big flaw there. And I wonder if the series is going to tackle that. Hopefully, it does get addressed. I don't know if it will, but we'll see where that goes. But okay, so backing off of that for a second, though, we have the match finally begin. Soma versus Hayama. And Soma goes first. Soma actually gets to allow the judges to taste his food first, which concerns me quite a bit, because usually when it comes to, Shokugeki no Soma, when the first person to deliver their food and the judges taste it, they're usually the ones to lose. This has even happened to Soma when he lost. So I wonder if Soma is going to get defeated here, but because of some form of technicality, it'll cause him to be able to win. So something is telling me that he could potentially lose this just because of how he was the one to deliver his food first. Now, speaking of the food and stuff and the judges, oh my god, so we got to see Alice's father in this episode, and the man's a man of culture. He knows what best girls are in this series, like the two best girls, which is Alice and Alice's mother. So I'm really happy to see that was a really nice scene, and I'm just like, okay, this is a great character. I really like this man and all that, just the way he's acting, and the way he also would be actually a fair judge. Even if Alice was there to make food, he would judge everything fairly. I respect that from the man, so he doesn't play favorites at all. It was a very fair match, at the very least for, Soma and Hayama, and I just like his character. His introduction's pretty freaking cool. But okay, so getting off of that though, the food that Soma used, he's making a fried dish, very similar to Hayama. And this entire thing really stands out to me because it shows how you can make the same food, like you can have the same base form of the food, but you can take it down different directions, different paths of the way you want to cook things. And it shows the different style of Soma and Hayama. Hayama is someone that perfects, the smell and all that, and different flavors and seasonings, while Soma, he does these very weird things. He does stuff that's out of the box, something that you never think of, and he expands upon these simple base foods and makes it something crazy. And so they have their own ways of going about being chefs, and seeing how they were both making fried dishes, and once again just shows how different food really can be. For instance, if you were to cook, let's say, bear meat, or, let's cross that out for a second, okay? Let's say you were to cook, like, beef or chicken, and you were to make it fried, like fried chicken or fried beef or whatever, you could still turn it into many different things. There's just so many possibilities and recipes, and that just once again shows how food can be in general, not just for Food Wars, but for the world itself. And that is something that I truly appreciate from this series. We also have it to where the other individuals are having their own matches, and I sense some of them potentially losing. There is no way in hell all of them are going to be able to beat the Elite 10. There's just no way. I'm sorry. If all of the individuals that are the rebels beat the Elite 10, that's really going to undermine my opinion of the Elite 10. I'm just going to be honest. The only way it won't is if there's a level playing field placed to where everything is balanced between the characters. That's the only way. But besides that, when I look at it, I'm just like, if they manage to overcome, every single one of them managed to overcome the Elite 10, that's really going to undermine the Elite 10's role in this series. Because they've always been these, like, top 10, chefs, a part of the school. You don't mess with them. They're crazy. They're on top of the mountain. When you finally get there, that means you're pretty much at the end result of your journey, at the very least for the school. And if they were all to defeat, the Elite 10 or, surpass them, it'd just be like, already? It's too easy. So, I really hope that some of them do manage to fail. I can understand maybe half of them passing, but there needs to be some failing. There needs to be fret in all that for this series, especially for what's going on right now, for us to have any weight going on from this point. So that is definitely going to be a big concern for the upcoming episodes. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, the episode is fairly simple. I mean, we get Hayama's backstory for why he's acting like he is. Soma declares that, Hayama's pretty much pathetic and he needs to, get his spine back as a chef. And, Soma goes first, potentially gonna lose. That's pretty much what the entirety of the episode is about. So, let me know your thoughts. I mean, how'd you feel about all the fan service that we got? The man service to the fan service. How'd you feel about everything else that happened this episode? But I love you guys. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.